You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Global Psychosis Entertainment presents the Jimbo Trashy Podcast.
Everything is a conspiracy.
It's the Jimbo Trashy Podcast, where everything is a conspiracy. Even fucking you are a conspiracy. I am your host, Jimbo Trashy. This is episode 20. It's a big celebration here. A big celebration here at the Global Psychosis Network as we celebrate this landmark episode. Tonight my guests are Logarithm, brother Radican. He's been here numerous times. Also we have Radican.
Hello.
And last but not least, Mike Checker.
I just walked in the door. They threw me right into the fire.
So, the purple people eater mobile is having some problems, huh?
Oh man, a legend might be dying very soon, and yeah, I'm a little down about that tonight. So,
What was your first sign that it's had its final days?
well, the first sign was when the Torrance Police Department towed it and put a 30-day hold on it for nothing, and then when I took it out of the tow yard after
Not for
paying
nothing, right? Cost
for a
you pretty
suspended license, my girlfriend.
penny. No,
Anyways,
cost
long story.
money.
Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. Besides that, and then I paid $1,400, which is more than the car's worth to get it out, and ever since then, it's just been going down.
Maybe they sabotage it. You know what I was just thinking? It would be funny is if you just put out one of your headlights that only had one eye. It already only has one horn, right? It only has one horn.
You know, it'd be, honestly, I probably would get pulled over just as much as I do now. So, you know, it might be at least funny. It might at least be a funny joke for it to happen, and I could tell them that's how the car came.
I'm going to clarify.
People eater.
I'm going to clarify for the listeners at home. Mike Checker's vehicle is a purple mobile, and you call it the purple people eater, right?
Well, there's many names, but that is one, yes.
The Barney Mobile is another one of them, right?
Barney Mobile, the purple roller skate.
It's a little purple Geo, right?
Yeah.
Sure looks good to me.
95.
It's like a little, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like those like Jetsons vehicles that they have with like the
Yeah.
little glass dome.
Yeah.
But it has wheels though.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Is it flies?
you know,
It does look like a Jetson.
I actually love the car, minus the fact that it's purple. But
Purple's the color of
I put
royalty.
$25 in that tank, and it lasts me a week to 2 weeks sometimes. So like it's worth it. But it's purple because I got it from my lesbian aunt. So let's be honest here. Like, what can I do? What can I do?
I see what you did there.
Well, speaking of purple, the Django slave toys have been banned from eBay.
What?
Yeah, can you
Why
do
is
that?
that purple?
What is it?
I'm just.
It's because they're so black they're purple. That's
Well,
just
wait,
racist.
It's just
get
my
it.
weird
I get it.
transition here.
I get it.
Yeah, eBay is banning. How do you ban shit on eBay? I thought it was supposed to be a free market. You know,
Well,
it's not illegal. I mean, it's not like they're selling meth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or fucking.
that's true.
You know, but
There-
There's
Yeah.
the irony in that Django and the free
I know,
free
right?
market, free man. No one's it.
I mean, I know they take shit off eBay all the time, like that's inappropriate. I don't know for sure, but I know that people. This might be not false, but I know women sell used panties, and I don't know. I think
That's
it's like
pretty
it's a
gross.
Japanese fetish. Like there's
I see.
actually vending.
that
machines.
explains everything.
There's actually vending machines in Japan. Okay.
Really?
And it's
Wow.
usually posted outside of business, like corporations and businessmen work, you know, like people who dress in suit and ties. And when they come out of work, typically they go straight to the bar or to the brothels. I don't know if they're like technically called whorehouses, but you know what they have. And anyways, when you walk out the door, if you want, there's vending machines like you would buy crackers or soda, and it's used pantyhose.
Wow, do they smell like vagina?
They're used.
Is that what it's all about?
Yeah, they're just yeah.
They're
They're
those
pervs.
used little thongs where it's like stiff right there where it touched. You know what you've seen
Yeah.
that?
No, they're pervs, so like yeah, that's what they like. But yeah, in Japan it's a huge thing. Like I said, there's vending machines, but in America I know it's got an underground black market, And I know they used to be sold on eBay, but I'm pretty sure they banned those from eBay.
Black
But now you
market?
got to go to Craigslist to get it.
Are we talking about Japan? Or
So you know where to go, though. Either way, you know where to
I
go.
know, yeah. No,
eBay sucks,
and then
yeah.
what happens is there's people. I actually read an article. I knew about the panty thing in Japan a long time ago, but
You would.
I do. I saw. I actually want to
Japanese.
visit to witness one of these things in person. But anyways, I read an article about some girl who was hooked on shooting up heroin and shit like that, and you know, she didn't work, and she had a boyfriend that didn't work, and the way that they made their money was she heard about the Japanese fetish and began on Craigslist to advertise her used panties on Craigslist. Lo and behold, someone hit her up. And then she started freaking getting a clientele list of people who weekly, multiple people a week would come to her for her used panties. And no joke, like what they would do is for $200 to $500 sometimes, she would it would be almost like buying a prostitute and meeting a prostitute. She would meet these people in a parking lot, jump out of her car, jump in their car, and she would take the panties off in front of them and hand it to them. And then I think she said, like, as she started getting later on into it, what she would do is she would like masturbate in them in front of them. And then so like she came and
Dude, they want the little crust. They want it to be
Right.
a little boat right there, like right
Yeah.
where the thong.
Yeah.
I don't want crust. I want goo.
Triangle.
So I was gonna buy those kind of panties.
So yeah, it turned
More of a
into,
goo guy.
It turned into where it started to get to the point where the dude started wanting to fuck her, and they wanted her to actually be a whore, a prostitute, and shit like that. And so she
They
said
have
she
no
got like
class, those guys.
she went to the point where she started she burned all her bridges at the end by getting the final, like she would go and make $1,000 off them and say, this time, you know, we're gonna fuck. And she would do the panty thing, and then fucking she would take the panties off and they would think they're fuck, and then she would like have her boyfriend or hire some dudes to come in the parking lot dressed as like parking security and knock on the window like right before the act would happen. And she would be like, oh fuck, and like bone out the car.
Like what? Like is it like just the tips in?
That's
and
a
then
hustle.
off?
No. Just like,
Not even
you know,
tip.
I'm
So they
sure
wouldn't
there was
rape
some
her, I'm
kind of
assuming, right?
signal or something, you know, like no, it was so that she wouldn't have to fuck him.
Okay.
She would get the money, and then the security guard would fucking
At
come
least she
right
had some
before she
self-respect,
fucked,
right? I mean,
right?
come on.
Yeah.
Well, then she felt, and then she told her friends that this was what she started doing, and they were like, "Wow, like there's evil, and then there's just pure evil." And I was just like, "Oh, all right, I guess that makes her
Shooting up
evil.
heroin, I can understand. Giving people your used panties, that's where I draw the line. I can't be friends with you
No,
anymore, dude.
it wasn't that. It was shooting heroin. I understand. Selling used panties, like, okay, you're getting there, but then fucking telling them that I'm gonna fuck you, and then having some guy fucking.
I think they hit right on the
knock on
head. That
window.
is definitely evil, yeah.
Right? And they would take the money still. And
Talk
just
about
be
blue
like, hey,
balls,
I'm
right?
sorry.
For
It's
real.
evil. That's evil.
Yeah, that could kill somebody. Well, I was gonna say, imagine like the black market in Japan. If this is as big as you say, like where like there's some like fucking crackheads on the street that really need some money, right? So bad, and they like, you know, imagine the girl that like gets, you know, taken into an alley and she's like, oh no, oh, they fucking raped, and they fucking take her and they take her pants off and take her panties off. She's like, ah! And then they
And
just
then they
run
just
off. Right?
Run off sniffing them and shit.
She's like,
Oh,
I mean,
I get the next one.
Dude, are you traumatized from that? Do you have to go to classes? I mean, like, you know, does that affect your life, or is it just like, what happens? you
I
know?
think that's how the thing starts to go. Oh, that was actually easy. I'm gonna call. I don't even know too. The vending machines. I don't know if there's like a company where they like, you know,
Yeah, how do they
women just call
dispense?
them up and sell like a vending machine.
It just drops
You
out like a
press it,
soda?
yeah, and
Or
you
is it like one of those
And
ones
how
where
long
it
does
goes
someone
like,
have to?
Wow,
How long does a
wrap it
girl?
on top?
How long does a
I
girl
don't-
have to wear them for them to be used? Like they just like pop them on, take them off, and then
No,
boom,
like I
factory
said,
style.
like this
As long as
bitch,
they got
like
some goo, right?
this bitch, like she would have to like. She said they would prefer her to come in them, you know. So she would have to like masturbate while animating or something like that. And this is getting dirty already. This is a good way to start off the anniversary.
Yeah, I got a
show.
boner. I'll be right back. No, here's an interesting study. They say here that it's predicted by the end of this year, female gamers will outnumber men for the first time.
Yeah, right.
And
No
they're saying,
way.
I mean, this is what
That's
they're.
Farmville doesn't count.
This
Yeah.
is, well, they're probably counting every single little game on the iPhone and shit.
But that's
Bejeweled.
still
Yeah.
though. That's the
Yeah.
dumbest
That's what
thing
they're
I've
saying
ever
here
heard.
on the news technology website on BBC News, but not that they're the most
Wow.
credible source. But they're
Have
saying,
you ever stayed up for 3 nights on fucking multiple different drugs and fucking, you know, with one glove on, stains on your fucking wife beater, boxers, And one glove because it's cold, but you can't glove your keyboard hand. You can only glove your mouse hand.
And a 2-liter
Clean
bottle.
be jeweled.
And a 2-liter
Farmville?
bottle of pissing, so you don't have to get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's like someone saying like I used to be addicted to drugs.
Then call me.
It was rough.
Then
Smoking
call
weed.
me.
Right? I know.
I don't know. That's just what they're saying, and the reason why they even brought that up, I guess a lot of older people are starting to play these games now. So I saw a video today of like this 85-year-old woman playing GTA 4, and she says it gets her it keeps her memory going, like it keeps her brain active.
I believe that.
Sure.
So I mean,
well, my Aunt Pat, she plays. That she lives with me. She plays. That's all she does all day is plays Farmville.
Yeah.
All day. Like
She must have a fucking sick ass farm, huh?
She does, and she has a crew of people that help her and all this shit, and she gets pissed
Like
when
other
she helps people. Yeah, in the game, you have your farm, but other people can come and help you farm.
Fuck
and
that.
shit.
Yeah.
And fucking, you
Other
got to
people
go
don't
help
go on
them.
my farm.
And you give them, well, you want them to, because it helps
That's
you.
how farm runs.
Yeah,
That's not how I run my farm.
But and then my mom now, I got her set up, and she plays all day. I got her set up because she's a she loves Vegas, and she loves all the machines in Vegas. Not table games, but the machine games. And I got her hooked up on a freaking basically Las Vegas on the computer. And luckily I didn't show her the ones where you can actually bet real money because, geez, I don't know what happened. But, yeah, now she plays all day freaking poker and slot machines on her laptop.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to say. I wonder if poker and shit counts. I wonder if that counts as video games.
I think anything that's going to be electronic.
Yeah.
Really?
The convalescent hospitals of the future will be just
porno?
like a big arcade, dude.
Porno
All these
count?
old
Chill.
people with their fucking nurses helping them fucking press the buttons and shit.
it's
Just have a
very smart.
colostomy bag. Then we need to get up. They'd be the best gamers ever.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Feeding
Just like you
tube,
said, it helps keep the
colostomy
mind
bag.
active. And,
Like, if you go online now, you'll get your ass whipped by like a 12-year-old and an 80-year-old, basically.
Wow, that's crazy. The times are changing. Yeah.
So,
who'd have thunk?
I guess the Pentagon, the Pentagon is removing a ban on women serving in combat. Supposedly, according to the Huffington Post here.
So,
They're lifting a ban?
I guess there was a ban
There
back.
was a ban?
There's been a ban where I guess women couldn't go out there
right,
fucking.
Really?
They just did
Wow,
the
I thought-
office jobs, or maybe they did some sort of
I didn't know that.
working on
Damn.
tanks or something.
I thought that was long gone, yeah.
There's probably like a mutual agreement between countries because I mean, you're already sending your fucking boys into war. And how much would it suck if you really got smoked by a fucking bitch?
Or what if what if you got sand in your
That'll fucking
bed?
suck, right? Yeah, dude, brother. I don't know. Yeah,
That's
took her
true,
out.
though, but,
She was
you
like
know-
5'3", 110. She fucking smoked.
What's like Laura Croft or something?
Well, that's different.
But how are they gonna deal with getting sand in their vagina? That seems like a real epidemic that could possibly arise
Oh my
if they keep
god!
moving
Calling
in
her some
combat.
barbed wire. They gotta stop. No, sorry, no, I know, we're almost there.
But here's the worry now: if they got women going out there on the front lines now, it seems like we're almost kind of like at a desperate point now where it's time to, reenact the fucking draft and shit. That's what some people are kind of
Is that
worried
what
about,
Are they sure it's just not
I
more of
think
like
it's
a
time
civil
to-
rights thing as opposed to like an actual desperation move?
It just says Pentagon is lifting the ban. It's ban on women serving in combat, opening hundreds of thousands of frontline positions and potentially elite commando jobs after generations of limits on their service, defense officials said Wednesday.
Dude, I mean, if they can fight on the front line, I mean, you should be able to at least slap them in their face, right? Not get in trouble. I mean, women.
Dude, how much is
Nobody?
rape gonna go
Nobody?
up now?
You just shake them real
Well,
hard.
I mean,
That's what I heard. Yeah.
on the street, if you punch a man or if you punch a female, it's the same charge, right?
No, I don't think so. Is it?
Yeah,
I'm sure,
it's
I'm
assault.
sure they dropped the hammer on you way harder.
Well,
Yeah.
probably.
I think you'll just get a
have less
harsher
sympathy.
sentence or something.
Well, you probably have the same ability because you get there's when it says if you break a crime, there's a possibility of 30 days jail time and a $50,000 fine, and usually you get a fucking $1,000 fine and community service, And then if you do something like that, they probably stick you in the middle somewhere or on the maximum. I don't know. But I mean,
Yeah, it's like
because
that
what it comes
bus
down to,
driver.
because I know you guys are thinking if a man beats his wife, right? But if there's two gay guys and they get in a fight, it's the same thing. It's domestic
Oh,
violence.
you're right. No.
Basically,
It
if you
is.
want to hit them,
It
don't
is
fuck
domestic
them.
violence.
I'm completely against any kind of woman abuse. But when I think of a woman, I think of a little someone so much smaller than me, I could crush them. You know what I mean? I think there's probably large women out there that I would maybe think twice. I wouldn't feel so.
So
bad
China,
about hitting.
if China
Come
was
on,
in a
yeah.
bar, you would
I mean,
punch
come on,
that
yeah,
bitch
she
in the
closed
you would
minded
punch
or
that
something?
bitch
I
in the
know.
chin,
Hey guys, we'll be right back.
What else would I do?
We'll be right back on the Jimbo Trashy
that.
podcast.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
You are listening to the Global Psychosis Network.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Trashy podcast. This is our very first new segment, I'll say, here on the episode 20. Basically, what's going to happen here is I'm gonna basically say some quotes that have happened in previous podcasts, and you guys have to guess who said it. Okay?
Wow.
So it's who said
like
that?
this.
Who said that on the Jimbo Trashy podcast?
If you know it's you.
If you know it's you, if you know it's you, then you got the answer. But you know, we're gonna do a tally here, and the winner of this segment here will get a prize.
Okay.
All
I
right.
can remember shit. This
Is
is the
there
most
like a
sober
list?
I've ever been on a podcast.
Is there like
I
a
remember
list
shit that
of
I've
people who to choose from?
There's a few people. It's gonna be a multiple choice.
Okay.
A through E.
Oh.
Okay. So here's the first quote. Okay. Okay. Here's the first quote. Maybe OJ was white, and we don't even know because he's like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Here's your choices. Here's your choices. We'll start with you. We'll start with you, Logarithm. Was it A, Jimbo Trashy, B, Mike Checker, C, Radican, D, Scott Gaisford, or E, Knox?
I'm gonna go with D.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Logarithm here. His choice is D. Okay, Mike
Who's
Checker.
D?
I mean, that's funny because
Who's D?
I was gonna say D too. So can we guess the same one?
Yeah, you can.
Who's
I'll,
D?
I got D. That's a Scott Gaisford quote.
I'll repeat the quote again. Okay, here's the quote. Maybe OJ was white, and we don't even know because he's like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Here's your choices again.
Basically that every time.
A, Jimbo Trashy, B, Mike Checker, C, Radican, D, Scott Gaisford, or E, Knox.
I got D. It's on you now.
Okay, Mike
D.
Checker is gonna pick D. Okay.
I feel like that could be something I would say, but I don't remember that. So I'm gonna go with the E, Knox, because I feel like
Okay.
it's something that Knox would say because he's kind of out there too.
Okay. The correct answer is C. Radican said that.
Oh, of course. I should have known. Only I would say something.
He said that on episode 14, part 3 of 3.
I remember hearing that. I wasn't sure who it was.
What if OJ?
All right, here's the next quote.
What if though? What if?
He doesn't remember.
I mean, only a white guy would kill his whole family like that, right?
All right, so neither one of you guys got that one, so we're gonna keep it the tally at 0.
Okay.
Here's the next quote though. Motherfuckers were touching my tire and trying to pose it up next to my car and shit. Like seriously, it was a Kodak moment where I'm about to swing at motherfuckers and shit. Here's your choices. A, Radican. B, Evildoers Beware. C, Clive Farrington. D, Knox. Or E, Schmigs. Logarithm, you go first.
I'm just gonna pull one out of the hat and say C.
Okay, so you're gonna choose C, which was Clive Farrington was the choice on that one. Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna pick D. Knox.
Okay. C. Okay. Mike Checker, you chose D,
I wanna
which
go-
was
Knox.
Knox. Okay.
I kind of want to say Knox again, but then I feel like I'm looking to have like a man crush or something. So I'm gonna go with Schmeeks.
Okay, so
E.
Radican goes with E, which is Schmeeks. Okay, the correct answer is D, Knox.
Yeah.
So, ding, one for
Put me on the scoreboard.
one for Mike
baby.
Checker here.
Put me on the score. That was completely the way he read it. I knew it.
Okay, so Mike
Really?
Checker's got one
Yeah,
here.
that sounded very Knoxy, you're right.
All right, here's the next quote.
Knew it too.
Here's the next quote. And I've seen some funny shit. These guys go out into the audience, man, and there's people out, there's people that are there while these guys are punching and slamming and jamming forks into their heads. Here's your choices: A, Jimbo Trashy; B, Logarithm; C, Mike Checker; D, Radican; or E, DJ Fate. Logarithm, you go.
Let's go with Trashy.
Okay, so we got A, first choice, Mike Checker.
I don't know. You go first.
I think that sounds like something you would say, dude. It's either you or DJ Fate, I think, but I'm gonna go with Becker.
Okay, so we got you're going for C for that one. Okay, and Mike Checker, your last.
C.
Okay, the correct answer is C, Mike Checker. You said that.
Becker!
You said
I
that
knew
on
it.
episode
I knew it.
9.
I knew it. That's why I passed it to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so-
didn't want to say, yeah, it's me.
you knew it, Decker.
Okay, so Radican's got one. Got Mike Checker score one.
Record, Becker, Checker.
Okay, here's the next quote. How does that conversation go down? Like, oh hey Michelle, you're one of my best friends. I want to feel closer to you. I'm just gonna put my tampon in. I'm gonna take it out, and we're just gonna do the old switcheroo. Is that cool? Here's your choices: A, Radican; B, Scott Gaisford; C, Logarithm; D, Jimbo Trashy; or E, Luke. Logarithm, you go first.
I'm gonna say Luke.
Oh man,
Okay.
dude, this is a tough one because I remember the show, I remember the topic, okay, and that was, God, it's gotta, it's either Luke or Gaisford. It's either Luke or Gaisford.
I mean, switcheroo's in my vocabulary, so I'm trying to think who else uses switcheroo.
I don't
Are you
think
on
you
that
were
list?
there.
I think
No, it
you've
wasn't
said
me.
all of these quotes so
Alright.
far.
No, I know that wasn't me. There's no way, no. No, I know exactly how that interaction goes down. I wouldn't ask that question for it.
Man, dude, fucking, I'm gonna say Gaisford.
Okay, so we got you're choosing B, Scott
Yeah.
Gaisford. Okay, Radican, you go next.
I'm gonna go with Jimbo.
Okay, the correct answer is Scott Gaisford.
You're too good at this game!
That's 3 for Mike Checker.
I know
Alright.
I know my peeps, dude.
And here's the last quote. You know what I hear feels real good? Supposedly donkey pussy feels real good. Here's your choices: A, Jimbo Trashy; B, Radican; C, Mike Checker; D, Jason H; or E, Knox. Logarithm, you go first.
Sounds like I'm gonna go with Radican.
Okay, Radican.
No. I've had donkey pussy. It's not that bad.
Okay, Mike
Is
Checker.
it Jimbo
That's why you look
Trashy
nervous.
option in there?
Here's your choices: A, Jimbo Trashy.
Hey, I got
Do you
it.
call that
Okay.
ass pussy?
Okay. All right, and Radican.
I'm gonna go with Jason H.
I guess if Jack
Okay.
had a pussy.
That was gonna be my other.
The
guess,
correct
actually.
answer is A, Jimbo Trashy.
Oh my God.
Mike Checker
I'm
is the
fucking
winner.
good.
Mike Checker is the winner of
good.
Who Said That on the Jimbo Trashy podcast.
Got us.
And yeah, so that deserves a. So,
Roll Tide.
congratulations to Mike Checker winning the Who Said That on the Jimbo Trashy podcast, the very first installment of this segment here.
Thank you.
So
Good segment.
this is our first segment ever doing this on the Jimbo Trashy podcast, episode 20. So anyways, Logarithm, if you do me a favor, if you open that fridge up right there,
Oh no.
there's a prize in there for Mike Checker.
I don't know if I want it.
It's a King Cobra 40.
Oh, lucky
Congratulations.
You know
You've
me
won that.
well.
Alice.
You
You've
know
won.
me well.
You're our first winner here on the Jimbo Trashy
He knows you.
podcast.
This was the prize for anybody that won.
Oh, if you
knew
would
you were gonna
flash
win. Is that how well he knows
thing, I
you?
would
I know, but he knew
It was
I,
fixed. It
he
was
knew
fixed.
I was gonna win. He knew.
It was fixed.
It was it's a
James
conspiracy.
knows.
Everything's
Right,
everything's a
see?
conspiracy.
I saw that thing in there. I thought
I'm
I
proud.
left it here.
I'm proud. You did. He just.
Right, probably did, right? Yeah.
Okay, so I was telling you guys about swatting victims, right? Or the whole swatting prank. Do you guys remember
Yeah, I
this?
remember.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess there's a new swatting victim. Chris Brown is the latest one to be a swatting victim.
He's usually the one swatting the bitches, right?
I know, right? So, yeah, he's the latest one. He's making a temper tantrum on it about
He
it.
would.
Good target, I think.
Let's see what it says here. I'm pulling up the story right now. It's saying here,
Wait, Chris Brown is in the news?
I know he didn't whip someone's ass, but he's somehow on the news again.
No, dude, not the Chris Brown that we know from high school. I'm talking about Rihanna's ex.
Oh.
Or the new boy, or back to back.
Oh,
they're together again.
Well, I thought we. Okay, never mind. Never mind me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says cops raced to Chris Brown's Hollywood Hills home Monday afternoon.
Wait, hold on, can we pause? I just want to let everyone know that Czech over here just literally cracked that thing up the moment it got handed to him. It's already halfway done.
He got his trophy, dude.
Oh man! Did you? By the way, did you guys know that in Pokemon, they have 2 creatures, and one is called
Charmander, Blastoise.
Arbok, which is Cobra backwards, and it's an actual
Arbok,
Cobra.
yeah.
And then I think the other one is called Ecas, and it's snake backwards.
Really?
And they look like a snake and Cobra.
What I-
Just a little,
What I do know is that King Cobra is the official beer of all the reptilians out there in
And
Draconian land.
Here is the funny part about it, though, is that there's also a big fucking pile of fucking goo, right? And his name is Muck.
Inside the underwear, the dirty underwear?
Right. No,
I
yes,
like that.
yes. And he's a villain. He's a villain on Pokemon inside the underwear, and his name is actually Muck. But if you get what I said about Cobra and Snake and the names being reversed, the reverse name of Muck is Cum. And he looks like a big fucking. He looks like a big wad of fucking cum. But anyways,
It's like one of those
wow.
Disney
Opinion.
things.
Hey, there's definitely some hidden Japanese
I was
fucking
gonna ask
pedophilia
one
shit in
more
there.
thing. You said E-cast. If I were to break your arm virtually, would you get an E-cast?
Not E-cast, but okay. Whoa!
Anyway, so it said Chris Brown, I guess cops raced to his home in Hollywood Hills after someone called 911 reported a domestic incident involving a gun. But we're told it was a prank. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that the caller claimed a mother and father were in a fight, and the father went to another room in the house to get a gun. At that point, the caller hung up. Never mentioned it was Chris Brown's house, but I guess somehow they figured it out was Chris Brown's house, maybe because he was in the area. I don't know.
They said the address, but they didn't mention whose house it was.
Okay, that's probably what. Yeah. So these cops, dude, they must be really bored, man, going over there. I mean, I'd be
The
kind of
SWAT
pissed
team?
too. Imagine that
Dude,
shit.
I know. You know, it's funny because
maybe they're just
the last podcast I was on, they brought up about something like, you really got to do a lot to bring the SWAT team there and shit. And I didn't get a chance to tell about our story about how we got SWAT team.
We may have discussed this before on the Trashy
We probably
podcast.
have, yeah. So we don't need to go in.
But yeah, go back to episode 2, fucking part 4 or whatever. I don't know, but
We were SWAT team.
I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
Maybe these
before.
officers are just trying to search these high-profile celebrities' houses.
That's why SWAT team does?
No, not you guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm talking about-
it
No,
makes
you're right,
perfect
Jeffrey,
sense.
You're right.
You
You're
got
right.
to the...
You guys lit off a
Now we know.
firework when you were
Now
like
we know.
17, like some dumbasses in the middle of the fucking city, and
We were way
the
older
police
than
came
that.
with AKs. They had nothing
Dude,
better
there was
to
a
do.
fucking lightning thunderstorm like no other. There's no way that these... And there were Dutty Roman candles. Don't
Yeah,
even
they
get me
didn't
started
even
on
shoot
this.
very high, yeah. Like, where the guns at?
Rifles! Where's the rifles?
What guns? What are you talking about?
They
Oh,
thought
we know.
they thought my uncle had dead prostitutes in his frickin' closet
They
upstairs.
said that.
Because he wouldn't come to... They did. They
Yeah,
did.
they said that. They fucking
Why do they have to
freaked
be
me out. I thought
dead?
it was true.
Can't they be alive? You know, why do they have to be dead all the
I
time?
guess they could have been tied up, and yeah, you're
He
right.
was just shooting the wall or something.
Where's the dead prostitutes?
Because then it wouldn't be a crime, it'd be a party.
Where they at?
I literally,
Where's the rest
my
of them?
literal answer to the question was, officer, bring your dogs in there. You're not gonna find a gun, not even a super soaker. Go ahead.
That's a sad childhood.
Yeah,
You
right?
didn't have a super soaker?
Well, no, actually, you know what? I never had my own. I just had little water pistols. I never had a super soaker.
You know,
I remember I used to smoke you. You shoot me with that water. I'm like, yeah, bring it on, bitch.
I remember I had the Super Soaker 100. I thought that was some badass shit, but then they came out like the fucking backpacks. I'm like, oh, fuck it.
yeah.
I just put my gun down.
Yeah.
I never got to the back.
We'll be right back on the Jimbo Trashy podcast.
Is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Check out the latest sounds from the occult experimental rock project Elvis on Acid with their second album release, Prehistoric Psychonaut.
With historic obligations, we've come so far. We're cutting away the spiritual line. Take consolation, they don't care who you are. We're dabbling us to hell, it's written in the stars.
Follow Elvis on Acid on Twitter at Elvis on Acid. Go to youtube.com/Elvis on Acid to hear the latest. Global Psychosis Entertainment, Dark Jam Records, and Elvis on Acid are not responsible for any violent revolutions, drug overdoses, or attempted suicides that may occur after listening.
To the royalty, the fallen eagles sing divine right of kings.
This ad has been brought to you by Global Psychosis Entertainment and Dark Jam Records. Copyright 2013.